Hello everyone! In this video, I'll demonstrate how to seamlessly integrate Chat GPT directly into your Google Sheets, enabling you to leverage its capabilities within the context of a spreadsheet without the need to write any prompt in most cases. As you can see, I have a spreadsheet with multiple tabs such as Questions, Opinions, Data, and Insert Formula. Each tab serves a specific purpose, and I'll be utilizing Chat GPT accordingly. In the Questions tab, I've listed a set of questions that I'll answer using Chat GPT. Moving to the Opinions tab, I've organized opinions on AI advancement in column A, and in column B, I'll use Chat GPT to analyze the emotions associated with these opinions, whether they are positive, neutral, or negative. The Data tab contains spreadsheet data, specifically employee salary data, which I'll analyze and summarize using Chat GPT. I will also request it to suggest to me what I can do with this data. Finally, in the Insert Formula demo, I'll demonstrate how to use Chat GPT to insert formulas based on specific requirements for the data displayed in the active sheet. To begin, let's focus on the Questions tab. Here I have got questions like, which is the largest flower? What is the deepest part of the ocean? And so on. First, we need to open the sidebar by clicking on Sheet GPT, which will open a sidebar to the right of the spreadsheet. This sidebar provides different sections for answering questions, inferring sentiment, analyzing the spreadsheet, and suggesting formulas. Now select the question or the cell right to it. You may enter an extra prompt to further refine the results. Then click on the Send button to fetch the response. Once the response is fetched, I'll click Insert to insert it into the corresponding cell. Let's repeat the process for other questions also. Amazing, isn't it? This process makes it incredibly easy to manage question and answer tasks directly within the spreadsheet, eliminating the need to switch between applications and manually copy-paste responses. Now, let's shift our focus to the Opinions tab. Here, in column A, we have a list of opinions on AI advancement. My task is to evaluate these opinions and determine their sentiment. Possible sentiments are positive, negative, and neutral. I'll utilize the Infer Sentiment section for this. I'll click on Infer Sentiment and then hit Send. As you can see, it has fetched a positive response. I'll click Insert to add this positive sentiment to the corresponding cell. Now, let's repeat the process for the next opinion. This time, it has fetched a neutral response. Similarly, we'll continue with the same procedure for other opinions as well. Next up is the Data tab, where we have employee data such as name, gender, salary, and department. I'll utilize the Analyze Spreadsheet section to generate a summary of this data and receive suggestions on how to utilize it effectively. After clicking Send, it fetches the summary, and clicking Insert adds it to the spreadsheet. You can add an extra query to your prompt to further refine it, or keep modifying the prompts until you get the desired results. This streamlined process allows us to quickly understand the data and plan our next steps accordingly. It's up to your creativity how you want to use it. Moving on to the Insert Formula demo, I'll demonstrate how to use the Suggest Formula section. With data in cells A1 to I15, I'll input a requirement to fetch the salary for a provided name. After entering the prompt and clicking Send, it returns the formula, which I'll insert into the designated cell. Let's try another formula. This time, I want to calculate the total salary based on the provided department. After entering the necessary details and clicking Send, it generates the formula, accurately calculating the total salary. Let's do one more. Let's request a formula suggestion to calculate the sum total of all the female employees. And here, you can see the response. You can then modify the formula as per your requirements. Now, most importantly, how to set this up for you. First, you need to get the API key. Let's walk through the process of setting up the API key for the integration into Google Sheets. For that, head to platform.openapi.com. Then it will ask you to sign up. Go ahead and sign up using your email account. Then head to the billing section. Here, you will have to add your payment details to avail the free credits. Once done, move to the API Keys tab. Here, it will ask you to verify your mobile number. It provides free credits per number. After you have completed the verification, you can create a new API key by clicking this button. Once the key is generated, copy the key to a safe location. Now, go to the Usage tab. Make sure that your free credits are available and show the status as available. It may take some time for the credits to appear. Let me show you mine. If everything is okay, then this is how the billing section should appear. You can see the free credit remaining here. And this is how the API Keys tab should appear. You can delete the old keys and create a new one. And this is how the usage section should appear. You can see available status here. Once you've copied the API key, make a copy of the provided spreadsheet. You can find the link to the spreadsheet in the description below the video. Simply click on it and then navigate to File and select Make a Copy. Next, you'll need to open the script editor. To do this, go to Extensions and then select Apps Script. This action will open the script editor in a new tab. Once in the editor, locate the code.gs file and find the config section at the top. Here, you'll replace the placeholder API key with the one you copied earlier. After updating the API key, the next step is deployment. Click on the Deploy button and choose New Deployment. Select the deployment type as Web App. In the description box, you can add a version number or any relevant information. In the Execute As section, choose Me, and in the Who Has Access section, ensure that you select Only Myself. This step is crucial to prevent unauthorized access and potential billing issues due to API usage. Once you've made these selections, click on the Deploy button. The deployment process may take some time, and you'll be prompted to authorize the code. Grant all the necessary permissions when prompted. Once the deployment is complete, return to your spreadsheet, where you'll notice a custom menu called Sheet GPT at the top. Click on it, and a submenu will appear. Select Show Sidebar from this submenu, and it will open. To test the integration, navigate to the Answer Question section. Choose a cell where you want the response to be inserted. Then, ask Chat GPT a question, such as, "What happens to your body in space?" After sending the question, Chat GPT will fetch the response. Insert the response into the selected cell. If everything works correctly, you should see the response inserted into the spreadsheet. This indicates that the integration is working smoothly, and you're ready to use Chat GPT within Google Sheets. Now, let's delve into how you can customize the integration to suit your specific needs. For this, we'll need to take a quick overview of the code. Opening the script editor again, you'll find the code.gs file where the customization options are available. At the top, you'll see the config section, where you can set parameters such as the Chat GPT endpoint, model temperature, and more. Below that, there's a method to open the sidebar, which creates a menu called Sheet GPT and a submenu called Show Sidebar. Clicking on these options opens the sidebar on the right side of the window. Next, there are functions to make requests to the OpenAI API, parse responses, and interact with GPT-3. These functions handle the communication with the Chat GPT endpoint, sending requests and processing responses. The section down below lists functions that prepare prompts for GPT-3. These functions construct prompts for different sections like answering questions, inferring sentiment, analyzing spreadsheet data, and suggesting formulas. You can modify these prompts according to your requirements. For instance, refine prompts do a little bit of prompt engineering here by editing the lines. You can add more lines and include them in the array. It will finally construct the prompt by joining all the lines separated by line break. Down below are the functions to fetch the text from the active cell and construct prompts based on the current context. These functions fetch data from the active sheet and convert it to CSV format, which will then be utilized to construct the prompt. Notice, I've limited the number of rows to 5 in order to conserve token usage. This limitation is set to avoid exhausting resources quickly, considering the token limitations. However, you have the flexibility to increase the row length if necessary. For instance, when analyzing data, you may need to provide all the data rows. But remember, the more data you send, the quicker you'll exhaust your resources. Therefore, it's advisable to keep the number of rows limited to 5 or 10, especially when starting. For formula suggestions, you don't need to provide all the rows. Chat GPT only requires the relative positions of different columns and their data types. So, keeping the row number limited to 5 or 6 is sufficient. Lastly, there are functions to insert responses once they've been fetched. This summarizes the server-side functionality of the code.js file. To recap, this file includes code associated with configuration, opening the sidebar, making requests to the OpenAI API, parsing responses, and preparing prompts for different sections. You can be creative in refining these prompts to suit your requirements. Helper functions are provided to automatically include context data with each prompt. Moving on to the sidebar.html file, it's responsible for constructing the sidebar and user interaction. The JavaScript method at the end handles user interactions, fetching responses, and constructing elements. The Buffy CSS framework, built on top of Vue.js, is used for building the UI. Here I am importing Buffy CSS and icons. And down here, you can see I am importing Vue.js and Buffy.js. I will post the link to these frameworks. This section is responsible for the header of this sidebar. Here you can see the logo and the title. This section is responsible for displaying different sections like answering questions, sentiment analysis, spreadsheet analysis, and formula suggestions. Each section is constructed by looping through the key-value pairs associated with the object called Chat GPT prompt. Here you can see the object. You can see the nested section object. Each object has fields like title, input, placeholder, response, loading, open, and icon. These fields ensure the proper rendering of different sections with beautiful icons. Here, you can observe the markup associated with the title and icon elements. Below that, you'll find input fields like text areas, which allow users to enter extra prompts. These elements are responsible for constructing the text area where users can input additional prompts. When a response is received, the response section will manage displaying it. In the footer, there are buttons for sending requests and inserting responses, the Send and Insert buttons. The Send button triggers the handle send function, passing the relevant key, for example, question answering for sentiment analysis. Similarly, the Insert button calls the Insert Response method, also passing the key associated with the section. Let's delve into the Handle Send and Insert Response methods. The Handle Send method utilizes a switch statement to determine which section the request belongs to based on the key. For instance, if the key is question answering, it will call the answer question method defined below, which then calls the respective method defined in the code.js file, which we've previously reviewed. Once a response is received, it's set in the success handler, allowing users to view it. These methods correspond to different sections, such as answering questions, analyzing sentiment, analyzing spreadsheet data, and suggesting formulas. Each section has its own method to handle requests and responses. To summarize, the project is straightforward and easy to follow. Each file contains clear methods and functions, making it simple to understand the workflow. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.